Welcome to How to Yu-Gi-Oh!
Let's explain TCG card game speculation.
Chapter 1.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about my speculation and overall thoughts on what I feel the card gaming circuit will be in the future. Now, this is not a direct prediction, but it's what I feel after, several things have taken place and how I observe the card gaming circuit now and looking at past trends of how card games have come to just a rough idea to what I feel could happen in the future. Let's not think that it'll actually happen, but who knows? It's good to speculate and it's good to have these thoughts. With that being said, let's get on with the rest of this video.
Chapter 2.
Okay, and so now I'm going to talk about the card games under this company. These are the card games that we're all familiar with. It's Bushiroad. We have Cardfight Vanguard, Hololive, Y Schwartz, Godzilla, and Shadowverse. First of all, Cardfight Vanguard is made by the same creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? Kazuki Takahashi, coming out in 2011. So far, this game hasn't really caught on in the Western side that much. Well, it has come here and gone, and we do have like a digital card game. Physically, it's not been in the best sort of position. Hololive, I feel, is the same. In the Asian circles, Hololive and I'm sure Cardfight Vanguard have been fantastic, but over here in the Western side, it's not been good. Why Schwartz has been interesting, has been coming up fourth, fifth place, so it's not doing too bad. Being underneath the top three, like in the top 10, so fourth, fifth place, which is not a bad standing for a card game to be. Let's not kid ourselves. But again, it's not the best. I think we have Godzilla, which has just been absolutely absent from Western sides, and we just don't know. Shadowverse is very interesting, as Shadowverse has been is the number one digital card game in the Asian circuit. The number one digital card game in all of the Asian continent is Shadowverse. And that's something it has had for several years now. So this is definitely a card game to watch out for. It has been number one as a digital card game in the whole entire Asian circuit. Physically, it has come into the game physically recently, I think 2 years ago, 2023. But we will see whether that will translate, right? Whether the online presence will translate to this game ticking off. So far, I would say Shadowverse is the best product that Bushiroad has at the moment, that has had the most success, the most whatever. Will it impact Yu-Gi-Oh? Will it impact the top three? It's difficult, it's hard to say, but I definitely feel Shadowverse has a strong contention to topple some of the top three, maybe even topple Y Schwartz for fourth place. Definitely Shadowverse is up there. Let's move on.
Chapter 3.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Bandai. Bandai has several card games under their belt. We have Dragon Ball, which is one of their oldest card games. Battle Spirit Saga, again, one of their oldest card games. Digimon coming out a bit recently. One Piece, very recently. And Gundam coming out this year. And so what we see is the problem with Bandai at the moment. I think you're beginning to see they're making way too many card games in a small time frame. And it's a company which speculation aside, I don't think these card games are gonna last for the foreseeable future. Battle Spirits is definitely looking as a card game that I feel will be dropped by them. Digimon as well is looking like one that is gonna be dropped. Gundam has just come out this year. Is that gonna survive as a card game? I just don't think so. I just don't think so at all. Dragon Ball, I mean, who even knows at this point? One Piece is the shining child that looks to be the card game that sticks. It looks to be the one that has had a good reception, is getting good numbers, getting a lot of people into card games, and is definitely sweeping up. Is getting good PR, good everything. So yeah, I think Bandai, really needs to stick to just one piece, in my opinion. And it doesn't really, and I don't really have good news when I think that this year in Japan they have released Love Live, and who knows, Love Live will be made an international release. I'm reckoning next year, which will add another card game into Bandai's already full and just bloated card games. It's too much. You need to calm down. We can't be having every single year you're releasing a card game. This needs to stop, Bandai. Stop it right now. Just no, enough. Stick to one card game, please. So yeah, if there's any company I am not afraid of toppling Yu-Gi-Oh's dominance, it's Bandai. Bandai is too responsible. There's just nothing, right? I'm a bit worried about Bushiroad. Bushiroad has some good IPs, which is Y Schwartz and Shadowverse. Remember, Shadowverse has digital dominance in the Asian circuit. As a digital card game, it is number one in the entirety of the Asian continent. Every single person is playing, not Runes of Terror, not Hearthstone in the Asian continent, but Shadowverse. That's saying something for its dominance there. And sure, as a physical card game, it's not doing well. But since they've tackled the online element, the physical element theoretically shouldn't be that hard to take over. So yeah, Shadowverse is definitely one I'm looking out for in the future. I think they've come out, 2 years ago. So we'll see where Shadowverse will be in the near future. So definitely a card game to look out for, and definitely one I'm afraid of as a viable competition for Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's move on.
Chapter 4.
Let's look at the screen. We have Disney. Disney only has 3 card games. 1, Lorcana, 2, Marvel Snap, and 3, Star Wars Unlimited. Now, Lorcana was made by Disney as a joke, right? It was a side project, and it was not something that Disney has been taking seriously. But since Lorcana's inception, it has had a very positive response from the card gaming circuit and the world at large. Okay, Lorcana has been received really, really well. And this is something that needs to be considered here. The one thing that Disney has, not other card games have at the moment, is a strong financial backing. Part of the reason why a lot of card games just fade into obscurity is the financial backing is not there. Because in the card gaming circuit, in my honest opinion, there's going to be good years, there's going to be bad years. But if your financial backing is really strong and is unlimited funds, then during your bad years or during your bad sales, you can still survive in those tough months. And the thing is, Lorcana has that in spades. Disney is a company that has deep, deep pockets, rendering this card game definitely one that's going to stay in the near future. Another thing as well is that Disney has not been taking Lorcana seriously. And I really want to preface this as this is something that is very dangerous, especially for us as Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we are at the moment. Lorcana has been getting good PR after good PR after good PR. And the one thing is that Disney products at the moment, whether it's their movies, video games, and everything, it's the PR of everything is currently in the toilet. Management and of everything is currently in the toilet. But Lorcana is that shining beacon that just shines in the stars. And here's the thing. If Disney all of a sudden realizes that Lorcana is something to be protected, to be invested in, and to be put front and center, then the card gaming world will shift like there is no tomorrow. There's all the ingredients for Lorcana not just to shine, but to thrive and to dominate. First of all, Lorcana has a good IPs. They've got the intellectual property that Lorcana has access to is absolutely insane, and it's definitely something needs to be considered. And another thing as well, what Disney Lorcana has as well is that since these are cards or animations or stuff from people's memory that people know, there's nostalgia factor in there as well. It adds that to the plate. There is a lot of things that Lorcana has that is definitely of a danger for Yu-Gi-Oh, decreasing its dominance in the Western sphere. While I can definitely see Yu-Gi-Oh not necessarily dying, but having a less of a prevalence in the Western Hemisphere, if Lorcana really takes it seriously, if Disney takes Lorcana seriously and promotes it to high heaven. So yeah, if there is one card game that I fear for Yu-Gi-Oh's life cycle, it's Lorcana under Disney. Currently, Lorcana is not being treated seriously by Disney, and it's currently just looked at as a side project. But the moment it is taken seriously, you best believe Yu-Gi-Oh is in a very, very bad place. As I feel where we are with Yu-Gi-Oh, we are the weakest link, and we are hemorrhaging players. We're already hemorrhaging players to One Piece, so don't get it twisted. We are definitely not in a good place at the moment. Let's move on.
Chapter 5.
And so we have other card games. These include Flesh and Blood, the anime card games, which is like Boku Hero Academia and other such card games, Elestrals, a digital card game Transitions, which is like Rune of Terror, maybe Hearthstone and other things. I feel this digital card game Transitions, I don't think they will do so well. I feel digital card games transcribing into real card games are just not going to cut it, and I feel are not card games we should worry about. Flesh and Blood looks like something that's going to stay, maybe possibly. Anime card games, again, I feel like these are going to be hit and miss. Some may stay and some may go, while Boku Hero Academia looks like something that may stay. But again, you've got to realize that these are not, these Boku Hero Academia is a very new IP. Is it going to stay for the next 10 to 20 years? Is it going to thrive? Is it really going to just survive? I'm gonna say absolutely not. The IP is way too new. There's the popularity can only go so far. It's quite, and I would say niche, but I would still say it's niche at best. I just don't see it happening. Same with Elestral. I don't see Elestral really surviving for the near future. Maybe it will. Maybe my explanation is a bit wrong. Maybe the speculation is a bit wrong, but I don't know. There's not a lot going for Elestrals. Flesh and Blood looks really strong. The artwork is good. I see a lot of potential for Flesh and Blood. I definitely see this game surviving. That's my speculative idea aside. I definitely see Flesh and Blood surviving into the future and beyond. I see digital card game Transitions. I don't see them surviving. I feel they are okay as digital card games, and that's where they should stay. I don't think everything needs to be a physical card game. I think the digital space needs to be acknowledged and recognized as a vital space for card games, and I feel it is not recognized a lot. And I think a lot of games should actually be considered in a digital space, as they may have better success there as a physical card game. So that's definitely something I'll talk about in the conclusion. But yeah, and that's about it. So let's move on to the next part.
Chapter 6.
And so here I talk about the big three. We have Pokemon, we have Yu-Gi-Oh, and we have Magic the Gathering. So, this big three, Pokemon has been number one for the longest time. I think part of the reason why Pokemon, it's been at the right place at the right time. The IP has been fantastic. Everything else has been great. But I think this year, and I think a couple of years with Nintendo, obviously, on having Pokemon or whatever, there's been a stain that has happened in Pokemon's great repertoire. Whether this stain is something that's going to damage the brand and going to do something to Pokemon's future, whatever, is something I don't think so. I think because Pokemon has been a collector's card game for the longest time, and it has a lot of scalpers and a lot of things, this worked to the game's benefit, and I think it will still be a number one card game. I think it's going to take a Herculean task or something of very, very weird proportions for Pokemon to be just dropped and all of a sudden not be part of the big three and not be the number one card game in the world. I think Yu-Gi-Oh has fallen to third place. I feel it was at second place. I think it's fallen to third place, and I feel Yu-Gi-Oh has the potential to fall even further if we don't pick up the slack. I think what Magic the Gathering has done with the latest universes and beyond, introducing other IPs into Magic, has definitely boosted Magic and is something that could warrant some danger for Yu-Gi-Oh as a whole. The third place slot for Yu-Gi-Oh is looking very, very ambiguous. It's not looking great, and is something that I think we need to consider. So yeah. But overall, I'll head to the conclusion and I'll give my thoughts on where I feel Yu-Gi-Oh will be.
Final chapter.
So let's head to the conclusion. And so when I think about where Yu-Gi-Oh, the game that I love, where it'll be, I think Yu-Gi-Oh is a card game. We've been doing a lot of great things in the coming futures. Since 2023, we've reduced the prices of cards down. We have, especially this year, we have really removed a lot of the toxic things that Yu-Gi-Oh is about. We have made the meta now very accessible, and yeah, sure, you can say there leaves a lot to be desired, but the meta scene has been very cheap in terms of like compared to previous years. I think compared in TCG compared to any other year, this has been the cheapest meta we've had. The power level of decks have been reduced a lot. The playstyle of decks as well has been, simplified to a huge degree. And I think this is something that is good, right? It's something that is needed. So, do I feel that Yu-Gi-Oh is going to just die out to these other card games that we have? Not necessarily. I feel we are taking the right steps to mitigate the problem that we have. I think there will always be competition. And if all else fails, Yu-Gi-Oh still has there's still the digital space. We have Master Duel, and Master Duel is a part of the card game, is a part of Yu-Gi-Oh as well, that's growing quite well. And it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh isn't growing. We do have the Asian circuit with Rush Duels. That's where it grows. I really feel where Yu-Gi-Oh can shine is if we can bring Rush Duels for an international release. I think that will really help in stemming the bleeding and really just bring in some new blood into the game. While Master Duel is doing that, I feel it's just not enough. And we are on the precipice of improving the game. We have improved the game to a huge degree, and I think this is something a lot of players don't realize. If we compare Yu-Gi-Oh now in 2025 to where it was in 2020, it is completely unrecognizable. Cards are cheap and are readily available that you can get. The meta is affordable. It is not like 4-digit, it is 3 digits. Again, we still have a long way to go. Don't get me wrong. We need to bring that down to 2 digits. But it's a huge, huge step in the right direction. Again, as well, in TCG, there's less omni-negates, less negates lying around. Actual gameplay has been put into the game as of 2025. We have a lot of archetypes that have been created with restrictions on them. Decks are not just making obnoxious 5 to 10 negates or just 5 to 10 disruptions, right? There's a lot of thought processes in archetypes and everything all at once. So it's not that Konami hasn't done something. They've done a lot and are continually doing a lot. So yeah, I believe there is a future, and it's not just doom and gloom. And on this channel, as I'll speak next year of the positive things that obviously Konami will have done this year, I will always look forward to the future and say like the amount of things that we can improve. But we are constantly improving, constantly going a new route. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh isn't dead just yet, and there is some more tricks that we can pull out of our bag. Personally, I feel like if we can bring, just a personal opinion, if we can bring Rush Duels into the scene, I think it would be really good for Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, and that's really it. So tune in next time as I talk about more things on this channel. Hope to see you soon.
We come to the end of this video. So, as I like to say, you are one step closer to becoming a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master. My fate, right, is in your hands.